Okay, I'm gonna open the first web page. Okay, I just saved this file. Where this file went, because I cannot share the desktop, I'll just show you through this box. Okay, can you all see the desktop box here, the dialog box that just appeared? Can you all see that? Mm-hmm. Can you all see that? Yes, thank you. Now, over there, do you see this is your first web page saved? Over here, do you see this thing? My first web page. It's already got saved. Pretty simple, huh? Interesting. So you just made your first web page. Let's just open this thing. I have already opened it, and I'll share that screen for you. So this is your very first website that you just have coded today. Look at your very first website. The very first website. It says About Me on top. What is About Me? About Me is the title that I gave over here. Do you see? And Hello World is the heading 1. H1 means the Hello World. So let me take you to the web page, and this is the heading, Hello World. Welcome to your very first web page. You just created it, and it's saved on your computer as well. Now, do you all want to type right now? And do you want me to go further with the code? The choice is yours. Later you can just watch the recording, or I'll just say, if you want to try this code right now, let's go. I'll give you 10 minutes to do this thing. What you need to do, step number 1, let me write the instructions. Step number 1, why it is so small? Step number 1, just write HTML. Step number 2, or wait, let me just complete a little bit more so you can just even see what more you can do with this. Say you just open a notepad or brackets or any of those activity. Okay, I'll share one of those. Let's say you have opened any one of those activity. Basically, you will be having something like this, a layout like that, right? Click on, if you're using bracket or any other software, just simply click on file and then click on new file. Okay, you will be having a simple typing surface. Just type the code that is on my screen right now. Come down and write P and say, hello, my name. Don't write my name, write your own name. Thank you. Okay, what this will do is, this P means a simple paragraph. So on your web page, you will be basically seeing something like this. Cool, a simple paragraph, a simple heading. That's it, nothing more. So you have a really simple job now. Say if you don't have a notepad, or if you don't have how to download it, for all the Apple users, just search for BBE edit, or search for brackets. Okay, search for brackets and search for brackets download, and go for the very first link. Second, step number 2, it will be downloaded to a new server, and you can just download it from here. Don't worry, you don't need to buy anything. It's a free software. Okay, it will help you to code all your web pages like that. Cool. And if bracket doesn't work for you, what are you going to do? I'll just say BBE, wait, edit. All right, the download BBE edit, and click on the download button, the very first one. Good. For Windows, for the Windows user, you can use a notepad, and that's really simple, right? Notepad is there for every Windows computer. You just find a notepad everywhere. Cool. And after let's say you have downloaded the Notepad++, you should be having something like this. Let me share the screen. Or not only Notepad, let's say if any text browser or any text editor you all are using, you should be having something like this, or maybe a lot of lines of code like that. Okay, what you simply do is click on File on top, click on File, then click on New, and you will have some complete empty page, and you type the code over there. Good. Enough of explanation. What are we going to do next? I need to add one image. Okay, how can we add an image? let's just download up. Let's just add a picture to the code
Okay.
to our web page. Okay. So how do we add a picture? You just simply come down. BR. This means you're breaking a line. You're leaving a line because computers don't understand that you are leaving a line. If you just leave a line like that, computers will treat it as nothing happened, nothing just happened. So you're just basically going to leave a line there. Okay. Then you come down and you will write img. That means image. Okay. And img means image. SRC means the source of the image where you are picking it from. Now this is going to be quite tricky. Keep watching what I'm doing. SRC means the source of the image. Put the quotation. You know what the quotations are? In English, we use it to quote someone's speech or someone's text.
Yeah, I know.
So img src equals quotation. Good. Step number 2. Please keep yourself muted, everyone. If you haven't, let's go and pick an image from Google. So I'm going to share a Google screen for my side. We'll go to Google Images. Okay. And I'll search for, what should I search? Okay. I'll search for pet animal. And I'll search for GIF. You know what the GIF is for? It's like the moving pictures. Okay. This works. I like this image. Now, I like this image. Come on, this is my choice. You can, when you'll be working on yours, yeah, this picture is from my dinner. Now, I'll be saying, right click over here. Okay, let's say you've selected an image. It could be any image. You just selected this image. Right click. Okay, once you right click over there, click on copy image address. It would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 8. Or if you're using an Apple computer, it would be something else. So either it could be copy the link address or copy image address. Okay, copy link address or copy image address. You will copy image address. Okay, it's going to be a long address of the image. Now let's just come back to the code that we were working on. Okay, now over here, I'm just going to paste it because I copied it from there. I'll paste it over here. Very simple, right? Now this means you just got the whole image. Now I'll just close the quotation. Don't forget to close the quotation. You open a quotation here, you close the quotation there. Now, let's say I want to give a size to my image. I will say width would be, width is the breadth of the image, like how stretch you want. I want to make it 400, and the height of the image, I want to keep it 400. So basically both are equal. That means it's going to be a square image. Good. And do we need to close this thing? Yes, just like we close the body here, we close the head here. To close an image, you can close within the tag. That means just add a slash sign and close the bracket. That's it. Don't forget to save your code. Save your code and then go to the web page that you just have built. Now basically your web page is looking like this, right? I know. It's basically your web page is looking like that. So if I refresh, because I have saved the code over there, we will have something like this. Cool. You just added the first image to your website. Oh, the web page, definitely. Looks good. If you want to expect it to be bigger, okay, someone wants the picture to be bigger. So what you simply need to do is, I'll change the width and the size. So let's go to the code and I will change the width to be 800. Okay, save it. I will open the web page now. It will be really big. Refresh the code. Okay. But while making a page go bigger, the picture might get a little bit blurry. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, for all the students, 1,000. Come on, what you're making. If you put 1,000, the picture is gonna crack. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the code. All right, for all the students, there are a few things that I need to tell. Today we are learning about CSS. Now, what is CSS? Last lesson, I taught you a really simple web page because, yeah, keeping the time in mind, this is just the information less course that's going, a short week course, about 3 lesson course. We're not going to dive in deep. So what is CSS? Last lesson, let's say last lesson we make a web page, a pretty simple web page in which there was basically a heading, a simple text, and a picture, right? So that's all we did it with the help of HTML. Now, what was HTML stand for? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which helps you to put contents in your web page. Okay, so you can just simply type a paragraph, or you put the list, you put the table, or content, or much more inside your web page. Good, but with the help of CSS, you can design the whole thing. Let's say when you combine HTML and CSS, when you combine these two languages, you would be able to create a really cool, amazing website or a web page. Let's say you can have a heading in center like this, a good content as over here. I'll just draw it, okay, and some really cool images by the border. Good. So that's what CSS helps you to do. Good. It helps you to design your website. Now, this is a really bad representation, I will say. You can do this really, really lot more. So last look at this web page. Do you see? It's like the JavaScript here. So I'm just going to say my name over here, and I press enter, and there we go. That's the whole website running. Cool. So such kind of websites are done with the help of the CSS, and we're going to learn how CSS works. Basically, it's pretty simple. You just search for a notepad, and every Windows computer has a notepad. For Apple one, you can use any other editor that Apple Mac computers provide you. And first thing I'll type is doc type HTML. This means I'm telling the computer or the text editor that this document is going to be an HTML. It's going to be a web page or a website, turning into a website. Then I'll write HTML. I'll come down. I'll close the HTML. Good. I'll come back over here and I will say, give it a title as head, okay? And give a title here. Let's give it a title as student choice, good? And I will close the title and I will close the head, good? And after that, I'll open the body tag here. Let's come down and make sure you close the body there, good? Now, as I told you last lesson, um, H1 means the heading one. I'm gonna make a group called header. Okay, header is kind of a group called header, which will have h1, which says student choice, h2 by key coders. Okay, let me save this file. How do you save a file? I'll click on file. I'll click on save as. Done. About no graphics. Now I'm going to click on the file and I will save it inside the same folder called student choice that we made. And let's name our web page. Let's name it as homepage dot html. Good. And save it. Once you save that thing, it should be saved inside the folder that we have created. There we go. We got our first web page created, the second one, basically. Now I'm gonna open this home page, and you will be finding just two words that says Student's Choice by Kitty Coders, and on top it's as a title it says Student's Choice. Good. Now today we are basically talking on few things that what my student suggested. Let's say H2, and we'll talk about the first thing. It was trending. Let's say Roblox. Okay, so we just gave a heading called H2. Okay, I saved the web page and make sure you break some lines. BR means you're breaking a line because computers don't understand that you're leaving a line unless you tell the computers, I want to leave some lines. You can write them both in one line too. It works. So if you see a web page over here, it should be looking something like this. Good. So you have students' choice, by KD coders, you leaving two lines, Roblox. Good. Now coming back to the code. Now, what are we going to talk about Roblox basically? I'm going to open a P tag. That means a paragraph tag. P means paragraph. Let's go to Google and pick something on Google and search for Roblox. Let's go to Wikipedia. We might get a really good uh, content or to type. Okay, so Roblox Wikipedia, and from there I'm gonna copy the whole paragraph. Good. I just copied the whole paragraph. I'll come back here to my code and I will paste it. Pretty simple, right? Copy paste and close the paragraph. Don't forget to close the paragraph. You're gonna close the paragraph. Once you open a paragraph, you need to close everything in its table. You open the paragraph, you close it. You open it, you close it. Good. And save it. Just saying, thank you for that information. So you copy the paragraph, you close it. Now, if you see a web page, you refresh, it looks something like this. Cool. Now we come down. Let's add an image for Roblox. So I think I can just simply search for Google Images. Images and Roblox, not Wikipedia. I'm just gonna search for Roblox. Let's see. If, oh, let me search for a GIF image. These images are moving. So, ew, that's not good. I'm gonna find a normal Roblox picture. So, so the picture here, I'm thinking to find. Oh, okay, this one looks good. Let's take this picture. Okay. So how are you going to add this picture? I've even sent you a video separately about teaching how you can copy the image address and paste it in your code. So let's come back to the code. Below the paragraph, let's break some lines. Let's say break two lines and come down, and I'll say img, that means image, src means source, equals quotation, paste the link of the image. So we go back there, we copy the image link, right click, copy image address, come back and paste the image address over there. Good. I'll say width would be, don't worry about the width and height. That's it. Close the bracket, close slash sign and close the bracket. Save it. Once you save, you can refresh your web page and see the result. Good. Oh, that picture is really, really big. We need to resize it. To resize it in manually, just after the pasting the link and closing the quotation, uh, we will just say width would be, I want to keep the width about 700 and height would be 400. Okay, and I will save it. Now let's see how this works. Refresh this thing, and there we go. This works much. This fits better. My username is not. I've sent you. Okay, now look over here. This is how it works so far. You have a heading, you have the other heading, the paragraph, and the picture over here. Next, we need to talk on the next topic. What's the next topic we are doing today? Tennis, right? Yeah, tennis. So let's break some lines. Come down and let's run on tennis. So at again, the same thing. You break few lines and you write h2 tennis. Should it be tennis or pet animals? What do you guys think? Should we keep it for tennis or pet animals? Cats, just tennis. Tennis, okay. Tennis, okay. We'll keep it on tennis. Good. So tennis. And the same thing. Open the paragraph tag, Go to Google. Okay, you just open the paragraph tag right now, and we will go back to Google Chrome. Okay, and we'll search for tennis. Let's come back. Google tennis Wikipedia, and we'll get a really short paragraph about tennis. So I'm just gonna write tennis Wikipedia and search for tennis Wikipedia, and we will copy the paragraph about tennis. Let me just copy a simple paragraph from there till here. Copy. Coming back to the code, I'll paste it over here. Okay, paste it. Close it, and let's add an image for tennis as well. So img src the same way. I'm just gonna copy the same image that's over here. So copy this image, copy image address. Can you show the top? Don't type now. I'll show you the whole code for it. Okay, I'll show you the whole code for it. So I just copied the image. I'm closing it. And adding the slash tag. Close the bracket. Good. And let's see how our web page looks so far. So if you refresh this thing, our web page looks something like this. Cool. Sorry for the people of tennis. It doesn't look really good, right? Let me get you another good picture for that. Which one should I pick? Hmm. There are a lot of really good pictures out here. It's Roger. Yeah, do you want me to pick Roger's one? I'll pick Raffle. I'll choose Raffle over Roger. Serena. Okay, that's the first one. Mm, all right, tell me. Okay. Let's just take this one. Mm, yeah, this sums up the whole tennis field. There is a tennis field. Yeah, this one. It has a tennis field, point scorecard, and looks good. So I'm just gonna copy this image address over here, and I'll come back. I copy the image address, coming back to the code file, and I will repaste it again. Okay, and the width and height will be same. I did it for the upper image, so it's going to be same width and same height. Save it, and this is your web page, how it looks after that. Looks good. So we have talked about Roblox, and we talked about tennis as well. Now the main thing, so far we just did the HTML, and we made it look quite simple really simple, and pretty straight, isn't right? Let's get started. Let's get started. So what do we need to do next? What do we need to do next? Um, we're gonna learn the CSS today. Okay. Uh, how do you code the button and make it do something? That's JavaScript. I'll teach you that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, maybe the next lesson. Um, what to do next? Everyone, are you all ready? Just type me ready in the chat place, and I will be ready. Okay, type ready in the chat section. Type ready in the chat section. Type ready in the chat section. Okay. All right, everyone ready? Let's go. So we need to start with the CSS designing thing. So how does the designing work? How does the designing work? Is it going to be really simple? No. It's actually, yes, definitely simple, but you need to catch up with something. Basically, when you're working with CSS, you're referring to two sheets that's going to work together to produce a single web page. Let's say this is your single web page, okay, which has some really cool contents, really good website that you just made. All right, and your website would be website would be made with two things. One, the HTML code, which will help you to put some content, just like we did today. The HTML will help you to put some content. So I'm just going to write HTML for content. With the help of HTML, you added the content on your web page. All right, now what about designing? The designing would be added with the help of CSS. So we're going to make another sheet of code and link it. First, this sheet of code will be called as CSS, and we will link this sheet of code to the HTML first. Okay, so first we need to link it over the HTML, and that HTML will link all of the CSS to your website. So there are two pages running your single website. And how are you? You're gonna say gonna come down. All right, after the head, you will come down and you will write link relation equals rel means relation style sheet. Okay, the close the quotation. You type is going to be text slash css, and then you will write href. That means href means the name of the file and where it is saved. So name of the file is let's name this as design.css. Make sure the name you're gonna write over here, the name of the other file will be same. So I'm just gonna copy it. Design.css. By CSS, it's gonna be a CSS sheet. Let's save the web page now. And now basically we just have one text file, right? I'm gonna open Notepad again for the really newbies to understand. So I'm gonna click on Notepad again. It's gonna be a really empty sheet, right? Let's save it in the same folder, So the same folder is the folder that we just made, the student's choice. Mm, where is it? It's over here. And save that file with the same name, that is design.css. No name changes. Yeah, I'm making another file of a notepad and saving inside the same folder, naming it as design.css. I haven't wrote anything for CSS yet. Save. Oh, the linking thing? Yes, I'll add it up. I'll add it up, the linking one. So once I saved it, in the folder, I will have two files, one design file, one the HTML file. One the HTML, the other is CSS file. Good? Style is just like CSS because the full form of CSS is cascading style sheet. That means the designing sheet. So if I have one HTML file, I have one CSS file. CSS file name as design, HTML file name as homepage. Okay? Coming back to the homepage, the HTML page, you all needed this one, right? Copy. Make sure this name should be the name of the file that you have kept, not copy the same like what I have kept it over here. Okay. I'll, we have one HTML file with all the codes, and we have one CSS file completely empty. Okay, it's completely empty. There is nothing. There is nothing there. Now, yes, you need to make another file with for doing CSS. You need to make another empty file of Notepad for CSS. Okay, and that empty file will be added in the same folder. You need another file. So all these two files will be added in the same folder like this. Okay. So you have right now two files, one the HTML one, the other one is the design one. Good. Now, what are you going to do with the design file? Let's get started. Basically, yeah. Basically, what we need to do here is if you look at your web page, everything is starting from very corner, right? Did you see this thing? It's so corner based and doesn't look really good. So I'm gonna write here, I'm going to say body. Body means the complete body of your web page to have a margin of 35 px. Okay, and close the curly bracket. Save it. So once you save that thing, let me just minimize both of it, even this one, and I will open the web page. You will see some difference out there. The same difference would be your text wouldn't be starting from the very end. Do you see the difference here? Mm-hmm. You see the difference here? There are like some empty spaces around, and the code is starting kind of a little bit from the center wise, right? Now, come back to the CSS, not the HTML, the CSS, and let's add the background image. So I'm going to write here background. I'll put the dash, and I will write image. Okay. How do you add a CSS file? It's just like simply the MLP is just like you open a notepad and save it with an extension called the same name that you just gave it over here, design.css, or you can keep any name over here, any name. It doesn't matter. can name it anything. But don't forget to add .css as an extension. Okay. Now let's add a background image. I'm gonna write URL, open the bracket, quotation. Let's find a picture for us. So I'm gonna go back here. I'll search for wallpaper. Hmm. So what wallpaper would be good? Sixth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's quite scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sixth one. Top one about Star Wars. Yeah, that's. Or what about this? I want something that's just gonna cover up my background really good. Let's just go with the. It's okay, reach. You'll find the codes, and once you go through all the codes, you might be missing with something, right? The CSS file doesn't change the code. It might be because it's not connected well. When you go through the codes that I gave, uh, you will find it. Okay, don't worry about it if it's not working. You don't need to worry about any codes right now, everyone. Just keep following me. I'm gonna take this image. I'll say copy image address. Come back to my CSS file. I'll paste it over here. Close the quotation. Close the bracket. Okay, and add a semicolon. Don't forget to add the semicolon in the end. That's really important. And don't forget to write. Let's just say background, size, cover, background, position, repeat. Okay, do you see the way the CSS is coded? First, you write the property and the value of the property separated by a colon. In the end, you add a semicolon. And then let's just search for, okay, I think that will be good. Let's save it. And if you see a web page, by the end of that thing, the website might look something like this. Looks good. You just added a wallpaper behind. Isn't that cool? So the chats are the chat like you are very hardly you can see the text over here. So for that, we'll come back to CSS file. Remember in HTML file, I just did something called something like this. I made a header group. I made a header group in the HTML file. Remember about that? I'm gonna say let me show you. In the HTML, I made a header group. Let me just open this with the notepad. In the header, in the HTML, I made a header group. This one. And I told you I'm grouping it together, okay, in one place, the heading topic. This was because, how do I do this in sites.google.com? I didn't got your question. So for that header group, I'll be coming down. I'll be saying this header, the group header, will have a background color as white, okay? All the color for the text would be blue, and text, all the text would be aligned to center, okay? And the font family for all the text would be Comic Sans MS. It's kind of a font family. If you have a good font family, you can change it like Arial, Times, and much more. And the border radius would be 50 px. The more numbers, the more round the borders are. Border color would be blue again, and border style would be solid. Okay, save it. Now I'll show you the web page. So if you come back to the web page, you will see something like this. Looks good? Much better, right, than the way it was before. Now I want to think I was thinking to change the size of each one of them. So I'll change the size of H1 and H2. Okay, I'll come back to the design place. I'll write H1 font size to be 80 px. Okay, and H2 the font size would be 40 px, and H3, all the H3, the font size would be 35. Let's keep it 30 px. Save. Cool. Yeah, now it's making sense. Now it's going good. It's making sense now. Now I was thinking, why don't we make change the paragraphs and all of them? So let's just come down and let's change the h2 background color, or the color of the h2 that's outside the header, to white. Okay, and even the color for the h3 as white as well. Good. And all the paragraph, and for the body, I want to say text align. Or just leave that thing. Don't need to do that. It's going to be complicated for you. All right. What about all the paragraphs that we just added? All the paragraphs will also follow the same pattern we did it for the header. Let me just copy paste it. You don't need to type the whole thing. Copy paste it. Save your time. And the background color, I will keep it black. The text color, just the color for the text would be white. Text align would be center. Border radius. The text font family for them would be Times. And font size for all the text should be, let's keep it 20. Let's keep it 20 px. Okay. And letter spacing, no need of letter spacing. That doesn't look really good. So we saved all of them. Let's see how our web page look now. Refresh. How does this look now? Looks good. We just need to change the color for the h3 out there, right? Not font. Yeah. Come on, that's your expression for that. I'm just showing you the basic. Uh, yeah, they are really closer. So we can have some space for them. What we can do is, let's come back to the code, and for all the body, let's add a padding about 15 px. Okay, and h1 h3 background color black too. Let's keep it blue. All right, let's keep it red. Copy, paste it, paste it after that as well. Save it, and let's see the output. That's not our web page. This is our web page. Okay, looks better. Looks better. Now the texts are really highly packed with each other, like all of them. So I was thinking about changing them a little bit more. So instead of saying, let's take out the border and radius from there, the border thing, and add a letter spacing. Letter spacing 2. Let's keep it 5 px. Now let's see how this goes. Hmm, this looks better now. This looks better, much better. Good. Hi everyone, welcome to the last lesson. This would be the last lesson for the course that we are having, the web development course. It was basically and specially designed for students who are on vacation, on the summer vacation, and would definitely want to explore some new skills. Okay, so far we have learned about how to create website using HTML. Definitely it was a simple web page with just an HTML kind of script. Then we learned how to design it with CSS. And I have also emailed all the resource files to each one of your emails too. Second, the third thing that we're going to learn today, and basically the final thing, because we need to end those lessons. It was just a free lessons for you to have some information and explore new skills. So today we are learning on JavaScript. Okay, what's JavaScript? Everything I'll teach you with help of my notepad. You all can see the notepad, right? The white kind of screen coming up. Yeah, we'll be using this to teach you about what's JavaScript. Usually when we talk about JavaScript, I always prefer JS because it's kind of a short abbreviation of JavaScript. So let's just write JavaScript there. Okay, cool. Now, what is JavaScript? Let's assume that you make a web page. Okay, you just made a web page. Good. And in your web page, you have a button, kind of a really a simple button. Let us assume that this is button with still you just made a web page, pretty simple. The C++ better than JavaScript. uh, just coding JavaScript is better, just for coding. So you just made a button on this website, just a simple website. There is a topic, and this button says click me. Okay, and the moment any one of you, like the visitor who just visits your web page, simply just click on your button, what will happen is we will be adding a code, a function, or some simple code attached to this button that is added with HTML and designed by CSS, a kind of a script to it. My drawing is super bad, I know. uh, yes, we are making a website. So this, there will be a JavaScript code which will be added to that specific element, a specific button on your web page, which will run when the button is clicked. And this is how the JavaScript comes in. JavaScript helps you to make your website more interactive, dynamic, uh, I'll say more logical codes and more functioning. Okay. Yes, we are making a new web page today. So first, we'll make a folder, a really simple folder, and let's can anyone tell me what topic should it be? uh, Topic is Minecraft, so I'm going to write Minecraft. Okay, and let's open the Notepad++. If you're using a notepad, that's fine, and if you're using brackets, it's fine too. If you're using a DP edit, if it's your Apple computer, that's fine as well. Now I'll won't be going elaborating the HTML more, because I know we've been learning this for a long time. So we will write doc type HTML just to tell the document that we are making a web page. Then the HTML, and then the head, and then let's try to give it a title. I want to give it a title as Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft. And regarding the designing, I'll teach you how you can have your own icon in the web page too. So let us add this line here, link rel equals quotation, link relation. I'll say icon, and then say href means the length of the image that you would be adding, and type equals image or X icon. This will help you to add an icon in the title screen, in the title bar. Do you see here? I have a small picture of Notepad, just like that. Now we are done with that. Um, Here, this thing, the link, we will add it later, not now. Okay. Now let us come here. Let's come back here. Open the new file. I want to go to Google. Let's go to Google. Come back over here. Um, let's start with. Let's close the head first. Okay, we are done with the head section. And let's attach the style sheet, the CSS. So link relation, to add a CSS, we say link relation style, style sheet, and link relation icon is for adding an icon to the web page. I'll show you. Look over here. When you go to Google, have you ever wondered, if you go to Gmail, there is a small envelope kind of thing over there. That's called the icon. Okay. So link relation style sheet, and type is text slash CSS. href would be style. We'll make another file dot CSS slash close this thing. I'll open the body, and let's close the body over here, and let's close the HTML. Okay. Inside the body, we will have h1, which says Minecraft. As I told you, we're not working more on the HTML stuff and even the CSS stuff too. The heading one, and it's a relation that I taught in the last lesson. Link means the kind, rel means the relation. Okay, what you're having. So if you're saying relation icon, you're basically talking about adding an icon. And if we are saying the link relation to the HTML is style sheet, means we are linking a designing page for our whole web page or a website. Okay, and we say link because this is the HTML, right? And the HTML is just like a gateway for everything. So if when you want to add, let's say in future you will be working or you will be learning about on how PHP, Angular, designing, web browsers work, the APIs work, you need to link all of them together over here. Okay, HTML is a place, like it's the first page of the book, like the index thing, and you need to link everything there if you want to add it in your web page. Good. Now, I just added H1 and I'll add a paragraph. I'll do this really quick. I'll search for Minecraft Wikipedia. Okay. And over here, once I will add paste a paragraph from there, I'll add one image to image src equals citation, the link of the image is going to be over here, and the width and the height. Let's say the width would be 400 and the height would be 400 as well. Yeah, uh, I just keep it empty for now. We'll be adding the link inside it. Okay. Oh wait, don't at the end of the code link relation icon. Yes, we don't need a slash sign over there. We don't need a slash sign over there. You can use a chat box. It will be much easier. Otherwise, some of the students might get distracted. Um, I'll copy the whole paragraph from here. Copy and paste it over here. Now, because computers don't understand you're leaving a line, make sure you tell computers we are leaving a line by just adding a BR line like this, a BR code. Good. So we added all of those things and the image. So let's go pick some image about Minecraft. For the images, I will take out Wikipedia from this place. Let me close the chat from there. And yes, one more. Okay, images. And don't worry, you're not typing, you're not working anything right now. Okay, I'll be using this image. Right click, copy image address. You should all be knowing we've been doing this for the previous 2 lesson. If not, it's fine too. And paste the image link over here. Whoa, that's a big, big, big link. And yes, someone's saying, can we shorten the URL? Yes, this is where we need to shorten our URL. Shortening the URL is a complete different topic. Okay, and I can teach you, but it might take us about 10 more minutes. And uh, basically, we're learning about the web development today. Uh, so I just copy the image address for that. Let's just copy this image address. Maybe this will be quite smaller than that one. So Control Z, let's paste it. Oh, all of them are really big, really, really big. Why do people have so big links out there? They can shorten, use to shorten those URLs. They are the developers. Anyways, do you play creative mode or survival mode? Oh, nice expression, Timothy. Uh, I don't play a lot of Minecraft. I don't usually have a lot of time. But yeah, when I get free, yes, I do play. I'll going to save this page, the HTML. I think I'm good with it. I'll save the HTML. Oh yeah, I forgot the icon. Let's go and select some icon. So I'm just going to search for Minecraft icon. Let's search for some icon images that we can add it up as a label on top. Mm, Make sure if it's a PNG image, it will be much better too. So PNG images are without the background. Just 1G is enough. Okay, let's go. Most of them are not. Let's see if this is. Is this a PNG image? PNG images don't have a background. They are transparent images. Just the object is what we need. Let me check if this is a PNG image or not. Mm, Loading. Yes, this is a PNG image. There is no background for it. So I will copy the image address. And if you see, I just left an hashtag here. I'll paste it over there. Oh, this link is finally something smaller. Now, let's just save this whole HTML page in the folder that we created. So I created that folder in our desktop section or a folder called Minecraft. And I will name my web page as home. Or let's just name this as Minecraft.html. That's it. Press enter. There we go. We are ready. Now, if you look over here, can let's open the web page and see how that looks. I'm going to open the code. The code for it. Yes, I'll send you in the chat. When I'll be sending the code in the chat, I'll be not adding the paragraphs. It's just the copy pasting, and I don't think you need it. So for you all, let me take out some paragraphs from here and even the image link. Okay, so you can simply paste and copy paste whatever you want later, not now, not now. The web page is loaded. Just I will copy. Look at this link. The developers, usually the websites that are online are built by really good developers, and this is strange. This is something that we don't want. Never make your link go really big. Let me just take it out. The longer the URL of your link is, the longer it takes for it to go through the client, that is the person who is viewing your web page, to the server initially where the website is created. So let me take this one out. Whoa, it was like a complete long way. Uh, I'll take one this out. Okay, good. Now I will copy all of this and send it in the chat. It will be much easier for you to keep a track. The code. Good. I've sent you the code in the chat. But don't do anything now. You will miss the main part, the JavaScript code then. So don't do anything now. All right, good. Let's come back, and this is how our web page looks. Okay, a really simple heading, a paragraph, and a picture. Good. Now, do you look over here? Can everyone look over here in the title place where it says Minecraft and a box, like kind of a block kept? This is called the icon. We just added an icon. Now, this is what icon does. Oh my God, my drawing and illustrations are so bad. All right, this is called the icon thing. Do you understand now? This is what icon does. So we just added our first icon in the title site. Good, clear? Great. Now, let's just add a CSS thing. So inside our folder, we just have one HTML. Why don't we save a CSS? So let's go to the open a new page, or if you are using a notepad, open a new notepad file and save it in the same folder, with the same name that you just kept. I kept it as style.css. So if you look over here, uh, I named it as style.css. I'll be saving as one file with the same name over there. Now it's pretty simple. I'll just say background. Let's just say background body color. Background. I will just say background color. Make it simple. Background color, black. Okay. Background color black. Uh, Margin. Let's give it a margin for all the sites as margins like the space. So you're not starting from the very end corners of your screen. 35px. Okay, I think that will be it for the body. For the header, if you look here, I just made the H1. Okay, for the H1, we will say color. Let's say background color. Okay, for the H1, the background color would be green, and the color of the text would be white. Okay, and the font size will be so big. It's a big heading, so let us say the font size will be 80px. Font family, would be Comic Sans. You should be knowing about the Comic Sans, right? Usually, it's quite really good when you're using the Microsoft Word. And text align to be center. Okay, and let's add borders. So I'm gonna add a border with the color white. This is what we did in the last lesson. Border color white, border radius. Um, the more radius you add, the more round borders you get. Yes, I'll paste this into the chat as well. So border radius will be 50 px. Okay, and so we have a border radius, border color, and border style. Let us say border style would be solid. Okay, and for h1 padding, all the way padding will be 12 px. Px is the distance, right? Whenever it's just like the indent spaces, the space that you're adding. Okay, we call it a px. Or when you're talking about the numbers, they are about the points. Have you ever typed in paragraph in Microsoft Word or any kind of Google Docs where you change the text size? It is like 12, 16, 14. So they are all called px while programming. Okay. uh, I think that's good. I'll save it. Now let's see how this looks. How did this look? Looks good? Yeah, pretty good. This looks good. Now, the paragraph. We cannot see the paragraph, definitely. Let's work on the paragraph now. So for the paragraph, let's come down. It does not look good, Farooq. Farooq, I'm just showing an example thing. Basically, you can make it look lot better. But I was thinking, let's just make it. We can have a good background as a picture, but we'll work on it later in the end. Okay. Okay. All didn't like it. Don't worry. In the end, I'll work on designing because the main thing that I'm really want to teach you is the JavaScript. So for all paragraph, we'll be focusing the same thing. Paste it here, and let's change the background color as white, and the color of the text as green, and the size of the font, all the size would be 30. Mm, looks good. Okay. And all the image I want to float. Float means to move to the right side. Okay, let's save this thing. This is just an example thing because our main topic is the JavaScript. Okay, how does this look? No, this is the HTML. This is JavaScript. Looks good. So this is our web page so far. This is how our web page looks so far. Okay. Now we added things are looking good. Something better, much better than it was in the starting. It's CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. This is web development. So far we were just designing through CSS. Okay. Now we are done with CSS. Now it's time to make add a button. Now let's go to the HTML. Now everyone look here. Leave everything that whatever you are doing. Just pay attention, and we will come here and write. Let's just make a button first. So we will say button. Okay. Let's write a class equals button. Why? I'll tell you why. Button class button, and when the button is clicked, so we'll say when button is on click, when button is clicked, we will run a function. This function will be let's say hello. Good. And add empty brackets next to it. That's it. So when this button is clicked, we'll say hello, and that's it. Nothing more. You can close this thing and say click me and close the button. Good. I'll save the button.
Are you on?
I'm on HTML. I'm on HTML. I'm on HTML. So in the HTML, in the very last line, I just added this. Okay. I'll send you the codes in the end, all of it together, all the codes. So just look at my screen for now. So I just added a button in HTML in very end. You won't be able to see it also when I'm gonna refresh it. You won't be able to see that button to it. It's gonna be below. And do you see it's kind of really small button out there which says click me, and if you click on it nothing is happening. Now we need to make it happen. So we will come back to the CSS and we will use this class called button. So we already have a class called button, and we will access this using dot button. So whenever you are accessing any class in CSS, you just add a dot in front of it. Good so far so good. Now for button it's so simple. So you'll just say background color. Let us pick a background color, green. Yes. Someone asked me a question. Are you using Notepad? I'm using Notepad plus plus. It's just like you don't need to link any button. You don't need to link any button. You don't need to link any button. In this button, you just need to say when you're gonna click the button, what's gonna happen. So when you're gonna click the button, hello will be running. And what about hello? I'll teach you that. Like to take different website. Oh, I'll teach you that. Let's just complete the simple basic thing, and then we will do a little bit of advanced steps. Okay. All right. Cool. So let us come over here, and I will say background color green, and the color of the text would be white. I want to do the radius thing, the border styles and everything. So copy that thing, come back here, paste it, and let us make it more round and padding. Let's give a padding of 20 px. Font size, let's have a font size of 25 px, and margin, all the space about 15 px, and text decoration none. All right, I think that would be enough. That would be enough. I forgot the semicolon there. Save it. Let's see how our buttons look now. Looks good. So we just added a button over here. Looks good. Can you share the code? Yes, I'll share the code in the end all together. That will be much easier for each one of you. So looks good, right? We have a button there, and if you click, nothing happens. Why? There is no JavaScript. There is no JavaScript. So we will go back to HTML. Now let's work on JavaScript. There are basically two ways using a JavaScript. Either make a new page of JavaScript code and link it to your HTML just like you did it with CSS, or write the JavaScript within the HTML page. Okay? Do you understand? Yeah, I will send it at the end. Thank you, Medicine. Um, Medicine, Medicine. I'm so sorry, I cannot pronounce that name as well. So I'll send you the code in the end, everyone. So just look at me. Look what I'm teaching. Now, there are two ways JavaScript can be added. The same way that we did the CSS, like writing a separate file in which we just linked it to the HTML, or typing on the HTML page itself. How? By the way, so how do you link a JavaScript? How do you link a JavaScript to a different page? First of all, in the very end of your code, you need to write, open the bracket and write script, src equals, in the very last, just before closing the body, you will add a JavaScript. Why this JavaScript is added in the end of your code? Why is the JavaScript added in the end of your code? It's just because it JavaScript always runs once your web page loads. So if you add your JavaScript above in the top section, your code won't be working. So always JavaScript will be added in the end in order to load your web page quicker and easier. So I'll say script src, and let's name our JavaScript file as my code. Now for HTML it was .html, for CSS it was .css, for JavaScript it would be .js. Okay, close the quotation, close the bracket, and close the script. This is the way of linking a JavaScript to your HTML. Okay, now again, open empty page, an empty page that is going to be completely empty, and we will save it. We will save it in the same folder with the same name that we gave. So we gave the name called mycode.js, right? No, I just have a spell mistake out there. It's fine. I'll just go back to the folder. So we have three kinds of file. One is HTML, one is CSS, one is JavaScript. So let's go to the JavaScript file. I just had a code problem. Uh, let's save it again. Let's save it again. That will be much better. Let's save this again. So let's go to the JS file, save as my code.js, and there should be no any quotation or exclamation out there. Okay, this is fine. Save. Good. I saved the JavaScript file. Now in my folder, I should be having one CSS file, one HTML file, and one JavaScript file. You can delete this one. So there are three kinds of file: one HTML, one JavaScript, one CSS. Good. All right. Now in JavaScript file, coming back to the button. Where was the button actually? It's over here. In the HTML thing, which says when on click, we're going to run hello. So we have on click hello, because if you miss, I can send you the HTML and CSS right now to all the students, but if you miss the code right now, you might not be able to get it later. And this is such a good time for you to understand like what's going on. So just be with me. On click hello with the empty brackets. So we'll make a function of this in the JavaScript. Come back to JavaScript and say function hello, the same way that you did. Open the curly bracket, close the curly bracket. Okay, and when this function will run, that means if someone clicks on that button and this function will run, we will say alert, hello everybody. Now welcome to JavaScript, the professional coding area. Now here is where your web pages and you become a pro developer too. And let's come back to a web page, refresh this thing, click on the click me button, and there you go. Pretty cool, right? This page says hello everybody. Interesting. mm, Now what to do next? I'm gonna click OK and come back here. Let's make another button. Okay, now we can create so many buttons. Let's just write and let's make another button. uh, I'll teach you three different kinds of button. One to take you to another web page, one to write your own name. Okay, so let's write another button which will say class equals button, so it will have the same design. And on click, we will say on click we will say my name, say name. Good. And call me my name, or I'll just say hi. Okay, I'll close the button. I'll save it. Now it's pretty simple. The same way. Will you also put everything on Discord server? Yes, I'll put it on the Discord server to reach. Now function. I'll say function. Um, the function name was say name. So we'll say name, empty brackets, and after that curly bracket, close the curly bracket, and when this function will run, we will make a variable. I'll teach you about variables later. For now, just write the same code. You will be writing the same code. Variable name equals prompt. Hello, can we have your name? Typo. All right. No, not this way. And there is a typo as well over here. And here too. Okay, that's fine. And once someone sends the name, okay, in the end, we will say alert. Yes, I'll teach you how to make a text box too. Okay, now let's look over here. Just look over here. Just forget about everything. Just look over here. So where name, hello, can we have your name, please? And when someone's typed the name, we will say, welcome. We will say welcome to the web page, and then add a space. We'll say name. Okay, and that's it. Pretty simple. Now there is one more thing that we can do. That we can do is we can have a P or H1 here. Um, okay, let's have a H2 here, and which will give it an ID call 1. Okay, and it will be empty. I'll say to be added by JavaScript and close the H2. Okay, and I'll save it. Don't worry about any code, you're getting everything. And for H2, let's just design it too, otherwise you won't be able to see it. So I'll write H2 here and close it. Let us copy paste everything from there, except the size will be smaller definitely. So the size would be not 80, instead it will be just 20. Okay, Control S. Reach yours. Okay, I'll send it to you in the chat. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, you got it. That's cool. Now let's come back to the mycode.js. When basically your web page is looking something like this right now. Control S, all saved. Now let us come to the web page, refresh this thing. The web page is looking something like this. Do you see? So I'd say click me. Hello everybody. And if I say hi, it says, hello, can we have your name? Let me write, whose name should I pick? You can type me. Oh, all right. Let us say, uh, not mine, mine. All right, Somo. Good. Okay, Somo, and I will click OK. Welcome to Webpage, Somo. Good. And if I click OK, nothing happened so far. I want this text to be changed by saying hi, Somo. How would that work? You will come back to the JavaScript and you will say here, document, document dot get element by ID. The ID was 1. I gave it over there. Dot inner HTML equals hi there space quotation plus name. Save. Now, if you look your code, let's just try that code one more time. Refresh. So this says click me, and it says hello everybody, and this one says say hi. Can we have your name? So I'm just going to write whose name again. All right, let's use Reach this time. Reach and press enter. Now it says welcome to the web page Reach, and later this text also changes. It says hi there Reach. Cool. Looks better. Now, do you all understand how JavaScript is changing your web page and everything? Good, right? This is how the JavaScript makes your web page more interactive and I'll say the more into the development and dynamic. Now, someone asked me, can we make a button which will send us to a different web page? Yes, you can. So we will just make another button right now. So which web page do you want the button should lead you? You can type the website over there in the chat box and I will make a button for that. So we will say button again, and class where to buy Minecraft. Okay, we can make a web page on for just sending you to the main Minecraft website. So class will be button, and HTTP post attendee. What does that mean, Farouk? So we have on click. Now we will make a different JavaScript code for this. On click, we're going to run a function. Okay, on click, we will use uh, window dot location dot href equals quotation the link of the web page here, and add a semicolon, close the quotation. Okay, and close the bracket, and I'll say click. to move, or I'll say jump in. Close the button. Oh, because just paste all your link over here in this place. Save it. Okay. Once you save that thing, um, wait. You need to be pretty sure with all of this thing. So we just copy the href. It's copying till there and semicolon. Mm, Save it, and let's come in our web page. Right. I'll just make it pretty simple for you to understand what's happening. Now, when you're having two little quotations, make sure the inner one would be just one. Okay, so it doesn't make your web page get a little bit confusing, like which one is the starting one, which one is the ending one. Good. All right, I'm gonna save it, and let's come back to the web page. Let's refresh this thing. Well, all right, we are here. Now we have three buttons. Let's click on the first one. It says, "Hello, everybody." The second one says, "Hi, can we have your name, please?" So, I'll go write my name. Welcome to the web page, Yasin. Now it says, "Hi there, Yasin." Now in the last button, which will send you to a different web page, and it's just like a click. You click over here, and web page reloads and take you to the Kitty Online School web page. Cool. Yeah, the Internet Explorer is quite slow, so never mind about that. All right, just ask me about. You just need to say input type of text area. Okay, rows. Thank you for your email. Yes, rows dot. Let's say rows would be 10, rows would be 5, and okay, let's go back. There you go, Farooq. This is your text box over there. Okay, we can design it, we can make it bigger, we can do a lot of things. Your text box. All right.